Hey, Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakak Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. It's Tawab Paryah from Providence, Rhode Island camp, going into a quick lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying, and to whoever tunes in. And this lesson is going to be going into reputation and why it matters, right? Because really this lesson is inspired by a conversation I was having where somebody was just going on and on about how they don't care about how people think about them. And, to a degree, you want to actually care, all right? Because it has to do with your reputation. Essentially, the Lord even cares about your reputation. And if you don't build a good rapport, then you're going to find yourself in positions where nobody may want to help you. The Lord ain't even going to want to help you. And all said and done, these scriptures, they're here to guide us and to give us an instruction on how to, conduct ourselves in this world. So I'm going to bring out a couple scriptures I have already lined up so that, whoever tunes in may be edified and exhorted. But here it says Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 1. It reads, "A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold." So we're going to go into this word name. In the Hebrew, it's sham. And this is the Strong's H8034. And some of the outline biblical usages state name, reputation, fame, glory, the name as designation of the Most High, because that's what sham means in Hebrew, name. It says memorial, monument. So, all right. So key word I want to highlight is reputation. So looking up this definition of the word reputation, it reads in the Oxford Dictionary, the beliefs or opinions that are generally held about someone or something. So when we read this verse, it says a good reputation is rather to be chosen than great riches. Because think about this, there's plenty of people that have money with a bad reputation. Just look at those that have been found out to be a part of these trafficking rings, and I'm gonna just leave it there. They have great riches but have a bad reputation to those who know. Now, when we continue reading, it says, "And loving favor rather than silver and gold." So let's read this in the NLT. "Choose a good reputation over great riches. Being held in high esteem is better than silver or gold." All right. And what that makes me think of is what's written here in the book of Hebrews, the 11th chapter, starting at verse 1. It says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen." And this is what this whole truth is about. Having faith in something that people can't imagine. Ultimately, because Yahweh Shem Yahushai didn't give them that vision. As the scriptures say, without a vision, the people perish. So those that don't have that vision, those that don't have that ability to believe in, Yahweh Shai being a so-called black man, or the mark of the beast being an RFID microchip, or what the people call UFOs to be the chariots of Israel, the chariots of the Most High. All right. For the people that don't believe that Jacob's trouble is on the horizon. For the people that don't believe that reincarnation is biblical. For the people that don't believe that the Hebrew Israelites are the only chosen people that the Most High favors. All right, those people that don't believe that, they don't have faith. They don't have that faith in a thing that's ultimately gonna be it's that faith in that thing that's promised to the Israelites, man. And it's only faith is really only gonna be for the Israelites to have anyway, the elect of Israel. But it says, "For by it the elders obtained a good report." And through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. And I'm going to just read one more verse, all right, because this chapter goes into a list of righteous men, all right, that had shown forth faith to actually, they ended up getting found in good graces of the Most High. So I can bear with me. All right. It says, verse 4, by faith Abel offered unto the Most High a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, the Most High testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh. So I'm going to read that in NLT. And notice how this ties to a reputation or name, like we read in Proverbs 22. It says, it was by faith that Abel brought a more acceptable offering to the Most High than Cain did. And Abel's offering gave evidence that he was a righteous man. See, that your works, the things that you do, the way you conduct yourself is evidence to what type of person you actually are. You see that? The way you move, the way you act, the way you conduct yourself, the shit that you do, the angels are seeing it. And they're bringing it before the Most High. That's why the scriptures say the eyes of the Lord 10,000 times brighter than the sun. The Lord's always watching through his angels. They bring your work and they get brought before the throne. They get shown to the Most High. And the Most High is analyzed, okay, this person, hey, they're building a good report, they're building a good name. And not only just that, but people around that are witnessing. Okay, it says, Abel's offering gave evidence that he was a righteous man, and the Most High showed his approval of his gifts. So the Most High will give you blessings if you have a good report with him, a good name, a good reputation with him. And although Abel is long dead, he still speaks to us by example of faith. All right. And that's the thing right there where it shows how your name can actually, live forever. Because even though Cain had been put to death all the way during the time of Genesis, his blood, it still speaks. It still speaks. All right. So let me get another scripture here. All right, Proverbs 11 and verse 3. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perversions of transgressors shall destroy them. This is in the NLT. Honesty guides good people, and dishonesty destroys treacherous people. Okay? So this right here is letting you know some things that can occur based off of what route you take. So honesty will guide you. And it says honesty guides good people. Then it says dishonesty destroys treasure. So if you're known as a liar around here, then nobody's going to believe you. And people ain't going to fuck with you. But if you are honest, then people will take your word for certain. You know what? They're a stand-up person. You know what? I can trust them with X, Y, and Z. That's why it's important to be mindful how we conducting ourselves. Okay? Pulling up another scripture here. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 1. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. And I'm just going to harp on the first half of the scripture here. Going into this word name again, it should be shum in the Hebrew. Yup. And there it is. Reputation. And also your reputation stands as a memorial, because there's some people that are remembered for bad things. Okay? Like when people think about who's the man that when people think about Judas Iscariot, the first thing that's thought about is the fact that he betrayed Yahushua. He didn't die with the good reputation, although he was trying to do something to speed up prophecy. right? When you get a deeper understanding, he still doesn't have a good reputation. Now, when we thinking about the Maccabean brothers, okay, they died for their beliefs. They died and stood on business. They have a good reputation. True. Just read Hebrews the 11th chapter. It tells you about all the righteous men. Let me not forget to mention Yahweh Shai, man. Yahweh Shai died with a good reputation. All right. But it says, let's go into this word precious here. Right. So it says a good reputation is better than a precious ointment. Now, this is for the word precious. Strong's H2896. It says a whole lot of stuff, but it pretty much says the same thing. Good, pleasant, appropriate, better. It pretty much says all the same thing, but it says it's to this point of saying a good reputation is better than a precious ointment. Now, just go into this word ointment, going into like oil and stuff, Now, bring out a couple more scriptures that I had lined up. Let me see it go here. This is Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 3. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of the Most High and man. See? So yeah, it does matter how you conduct yourself. It does matter how you walk in this earth. Right? Because it'll determine the type of reputation you build with the Most High and with men. So let's read this in the NLT. Never let loyalty and kindness leave you. That's what in other words, it says tie them around your neck as a reminder. In other words, that just means, cleave onto it. Don't let it depart from you, right? That's what it means when it says bind them about thy neck in the KJV. All right. You want to be a slave unto mercy. You want to be a slave unto truth. You want to be a slave to the fruits of the Spirit. See? But it says write them deep within your heart, which is ultimately talking about your mind. All right? Lock that into your mind. See, the Lord will find favor in you. He'll find favor with you. As long as you walking in the ways of righteousness, man. It's being honest, true, being sincere. Verse 4 says, then you will find favor with both the Most High and people, and you will earn a good reputation. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not depend on your own understanding. And seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. And this is why we must ultimately seek the Lord while he may be found, man. It says, seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. That's why prayer is important, Praying unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua is extremely important, man. Because that's how, that's your direct communication. And you have to pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because Jesus ain't going to be the one to actually deliver. See, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is out here sending strong delusions to people, allowing people to pray to these idols, and allowing people to believe that those idols are giving some sort of answers and salvation. But ultimately, that's to keep them in the darkness, man. That's to keep them from coming into this truth and receiving salvation. So verse 7, it says, don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Which makes me think of when a video one of the elders in Chicago made. He said, don't be Timothy Jenkins. Don't try to do your own thing. Do the Lord's thing. He said, don't do your own thing. Do the Lord's thing. All right, because this is not of us at the end of the day. And all said and done, there's a way we should be conducting ourselves as believers, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and we have to be reminded of that. We have to be reminded of that because we can get forgetful, and that's just a part of our human nature. Paul even make mention of how we have moments where we do things that we don't want to do, and we don't do the things we should do, and that's just the condition of the battle. It says in the scriptures, a just man falls 7 times and gets back up. right? That falling takes place, and you know, that may be that's the moment of opportunity where reflection has to take place. Okay, where reflection has to take place. And what kind of reflection? I'm talking about reflection is self-examination. That's the type of reflection I'm referring to, man. All right, and without that, you're not gonna be able to figure out, okay, am I moving this way? Am I moving? How does this affect me? This and that. Listen, man, the main reason why a lot of people gonna die is because they don't examine themselves. The main reason why a lot of people gonna die is because they do not examine themselves, you know, and they're not around people that's gonna tell them their wrongdoings. And this is why the brotherhood's important, because the brotherhood will check you. All right, the body of Yahweh Shem Shah, they will check you. They will slap you in the face spiritually, you know. But I'm gonna cut it there. I hope that I was edifying to who tunes in. Giving all praises unto Yahweh by Shem Shai, by Shem Rakakwadash, that will honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and salutations unto the elect. Shalom.